Welcome back out to another video. Bring another kind of top 10 video, I guess, kind of just an informational video. This is going to be LEGO Star Wars Misprints. So this is a pretty cool topic. Obviously, misprints are a big thing in the LEGO kind of community, I guess. They tend to always happen. And yeah, this is going to focus on mainly Star Wars. There's a few in here I've seen around before, but there's also a good handful of new misprints I've personally never seen. And I follow everything, on Instagram and Reddit and stuff. And I believe a few of these are actually kind of recent, so that's pretty cool. So let's get into it, guys. Starting off with the first one. This is the Clone Wars clone, just with the print on the back of the helmet. I've seen these around a few times. Not this particular picture, but it's definitely interesting nonetheless. It's pretty cool. I mean, I would love to have one of these in person, I'll be honest. I have a few misprints myself. I might make a separate video. I've got about maybe 3 or 4, so I'm going to try to grow that collection a little bit. I might make a separate actually in-person video on them. Moving on to the next one is the Shadow Trooper. This has been going around for a little bit as well, as well as at the beginning, but if you guys haven't seen it, it's definitely interesting. The print's pretty much just on the left side of the helmet. Definitely looks pretty cool. Again, a little weird, not necessarily creepy, but I'd definitely like to have one of these in person as well. Moving on to the next one, same thing as the last one, AT-AT Driver, the new one, with the print pretty much like scrunched up on the left side of the helmet. I personally have never seen this one before, but I think this looks actually pretty cool. I'll be honest. Like, I don't know, just like it looks a lot more weird than the last one, but I don't know. I still like to have one in person. Moving on to the next one, which I forgot to say, not too far into the video. Credit for most of these pictures goes to Rare Lego on Instagram, people over on the rebellug forum, and then just Google images themselves. That's pretty much where I got these images from. I really don't know the exact owner of any of these, but just go on the Rare Lego Instagram, rebellug or Google Images, find these, and then the owner will be credited there, I guess, since that's going to take a long time to credit each of these people. And like, none of these are mine. I should have stated that, but none of these are mine. I don't claim any of these to be mine. That's why it's a an image video, not an in-person video. But next one's a 501st helmet, which this is actually kind of sad, just since they're so sought after and stuff. How there's 2 misprinted. Actually, no, it's just one misprinted helmet on the back side. But again, I mean, you can pass it off as a real one. I don't know, just battle damage. Like got smashed by something, and the helmet's just kind of pushed in. That's kind of what it looks like. Moving on to the next one, Stormtrooper, the new Empire one from 4 through 6. Just the print on the right side of the helmet. Definitely cool looking. It would have been kind of cool if it was on the back, since I think the plain white Stormtrooper helmet actually would look pretty cool on the front. I think that would be a good customizing piece. Moving on to the next one, this has been going around for a bit. This is the new Chewbacca with the print lowered. It kind of looks like he has a beard. If the eyes were kind of filled in, if you fill them with like maybe marker or something like that, it just kind of looks like he has a dark tan beard going down, which is kind of cool. It would be an interesting Wookiee, unique. Next one, which is kind of a blurry picture, so sorry about that, but if you guys can't tell, it is just pretty much flipped completely, the face print on the back of the thing, because, actually, is Chewbacca even supposed to have that kind of stuff? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's completely flipped on the back, and like they have like the gunmetal things for no reason really, because that's not on the real figure. Next is pretty cool, which this could maybe be fake, but I'm not too sure. I mean, it was on rebellug, and I would think they would kind of contain the fakes or whatever, but it is the Jango Fett original headpiece, or it could be Boba Fett, but it said Jango Fett, printed in like a red. It kind of looks like the Mandalorian Super Commandos. That would have been pretty cool, if you had this and then put it on one of those bodies. Definitely give an interesting take on those. Next off, this is actually a headpiece, which there's plenty of these going around. That's why I didn't include too many of them, but this just personally kind of caught my eye out of like the 510 I saw. It is the Qui-Gon Jinn from the 2014 Gungan sub, just printed in red though, just kind of a test print. That's what I've heard these are. Just kind of test prints. They just print them in like just a cheaper color, just to kind of see if the print looks good. And like the right size, and then this one they printed on the real, color head. I'm moving back to the Wookiees. This is the OG Chewbacca, and this happens a lot. This actually just happened. Like, this is like production flaws, but like over time, like this print tends to fall off anyway, so it could be either of those. But it is just the gunmetal strap going down. Did get not printed, or like I say, it could just be worn off, but it looks like they're pretty new figures, so probably just never got printed, which is, a misprint. Moving on to the next one, which is another one of those head kind of things, but I really like this picture. I just uploaded Umbara, so I think this would be kind of cool to add in here. It is the Umbarans. You're supposed to have a medium lavender head, but this has like a bright light orange head, which I don't even think they make too many heads in that color. So I'm surprised they like wasted a test print in that color. So it definitely looks pretty cool though. It might even be a little bit more accurate. I'll be honest. I'm not sure how it would look with the helmet on, but who knows? It might even look a little bit more accurate. Moving on, I got a few more left, guys. Here's a Gomorian guard. Once again, credit to Rare Lego on Instagram. He kind of combines a lot of stuff he finds and puts it on his account. This is a Gomorian guard with no nose print and no belt print on the torso, like no dark brown print. Same with on the back. Definitely cool. That's a cool misprint. Then the next one, very cool. It was pretty much just the 2005 Episode 3 Anakin that just never got fully printed. You see there's no belt print, there's no robe print, and definitely pretty cool. I'd love to have some of these. Other than the last one, which this is probably the most interesting, I'll be honest, since it's like a complete just mess up on Lego's part, is on the box. There was it's supposed to be that print, but then this one person got a completely different torso that's not even like a real torso, but it's like it's like a recolor of the Cassian Andor's torso. It's weird. If you guys can tell, it's literally just a reprint, but like an all dark tan, and it came with the ground crew guy. So that's pretty cool, honestly. That's a very unique piece to have, and I wouldn't be surprised, if you could sell it for a lot. But I don't think anyone else will probably have that. So yeah, so that's pretty much all for this video, guys. If you guys, I'm thinking about doing a part 2 a few weeks down the line. Like, this was just kind of a generic search. I kind of looked around for a little bit, about half hour, did my research, found some of the better looking ones that haven't been around for so long, I guess. And I'm thinking about maybe doing a part 2 soon. I've also got some other video ideas kind of like this, kind of showcasing specific areas of Lego, I guess, with the voiceover, of course. I kind of like doing this when I have time. So yeah, if you guys want a part 2, just let me know down below. Part 2 will definitely be a lot more interesting things. I'll try to find the best of the best, maybe 5, 10 of them, maybe even do like a top 10 with them. Just kind of, select it more. Because this is, I think, maybe 12 or 13 different pictures. So yeah, guys, if you want to just subscribe, go ahead. If you guys want a part 2, leave it down below. That's pretty much all for this video, guys. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more. See you guys later. Bye.